Alright you guys, well this is the 8.25 generator blank. So I have actually been really loving this board. First off, let's get into the dimensions. So the dimensions are 1/16 under 32. It's basically 32. The width is 8 1/4 all the way across. So, you know, from about this part of the truck, like your last bolts, to your last bolts, it's a true 8.25. The wheelbase is a standard 14 1/4. The tail is about 6 5/8 roughly. The nose is maybe a hair over 6 3/4. Can't remember exactly. I got it on my Instagram somewhere. Either way, it's a pretty standard length and a pretty standard length nose and tail for 8.25 anyways. So one thing I noticed right away about this board is that it had pretty steep kicks compared to the other ones. Now there wasn't any difference in concave. It was just obviously this one was a top of the stack press, and it felt actually a little bit too steep for me, especially after riding the 8 3/8, which I think was fairly mellow, and it definitely mellowed out over the 3 weeks that I rode it, until the point that I actually loved it, especially with Indy standard 149s. So I decided to just carry on with those, switch right over to Indy standard 149s, and man did this deck ever feel skinny and squirrely at first. So going down that 1/8 in wheelbase made it really turny, like a lot turnier, and also having a 8.25 instead of an 8 3/8 and having trucks that were wider than the board, the whole thing just felt really long and skinny all of a sudden. All that combined with the kicks that felt way steeper, this board was actually quite a shock to me at first. But I do have to say, I love the way boards sound with Indy standards. I don't know, they just have a certain pop and a certain catch. It's like you can hear it. It just sounds so solid with that heft. So flat ground with these steep kicks was admittedly hard. You know what? Sometimes the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze. It probably would have been great if I actually stuck it out on the Indy standards, but it just felt too ghost poppy for me. Okay, so I tried this deck on a lot of trucks. I probably got the worst case of truck madness that I've had in a while. So I had this deck also. I had one in the winter when I was testing out the generator blanks. I tried that on Indy 144s, I tried it on 149s, I tried it on 149 titanium, I tried it on Thunder lights with the forged base plate. I tried it on Venture standards. Those felt way too heavy. So now let's get to this deck. Because the Indy standards felt heavy and I was getting ghost pop, I tried my titaniums. And while the ghost pop went away, the board just felt too light. It was like getting away from me on 360 flips. I just didn't know where the thing was. And I've come to the conclusion that I actually just don't like Indy titaniums. Too light for me. So next, I tried it on 144s, 144 standards, and that felt really good. Actually, it felt amazing until the board mellowed out a bit. And then, you know, I just lost pop on my nollie heel flips and nollie flips. Like the nose just felt too long and it was hitting too soon and I just wasn't getting the vertical height I wanted. So then I went to Thunders. Thunder standard 148, so that's an 8 1/4 truck. It should be perfect on this board. But the Thunders made this deck feel too long and too steep. It just felt off, like my nose was hitting too soon, but it still felt too heavy. Just couldn't make sense of it. So finally, after all those trucks, I went and I put on these Venture 5.6 hollows. So these are an 8.25 Venture, but they have hollow axle, hollow kingpin, forged base plate. So these trucks felt perfect on this deck, in my opinion. And I even tried these on the other one, the 8.25 that was a little bit lower in the stack, so mellower, and they felt awesome on that one too. So I can confidently say that my favorite truck on the 8.25 generator blank is the 5.6 Venture Hollow. It just has the best snap, and I also really like the way these trucks feel for manuals, the way they pinch. They have a hefty pop feel, but they're really light once you get them in the air. They just, honestly, perfect combination for me. All right, but enough of all that. Let's get to a quick little edit. But first, I want to show you guys what the skate parks have been looking like these days, ever since the COVID thing.
Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
那车上怎么点？
Yup, they're an absolute playground, just like chock full of little kids on bikes. I call them sharks, baby sharks to be specific. Sorry, I got that stuck in your head. Anyways, let's get to this little edit. This is Austin and I skating the parks, and I'm just gonna keep this one a little bit more long form. We got some clips of Austin, which is awesome. Usually I just film stuff for his Instagram on his phone, so I'm happy to have him on this channel. But enough about that, let's get to it.
We're going to initiate our dip test at the bottom of this kink rail. It's solid knuckle deep. Grab me. I'm still stuck in there too. I'm landing directly, right into the tar every time.
Y'all good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting roasted today, man.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
It's that good retaliation.
There you go.
All right, I'm happy. going on here, Ben? What's the major malfunction, brother?
I don't know, man, but twice makes it funnier. Like, yeah. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that little edit. Anyways, back to the deck. So I have really been liking this deck. It's about 2 weeks old. It's still in really good shape. I definitely enjoy it on these ventures. I want to take this same shape and shrink it down. That's going to be one of the first customs I'll be testing a sample for. But because of all the pandemic delays, you know, we don't have any customs and we're still waiting on decks, just like everybody else. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're looking to find these, we will have them back in stock in Canada Skate Shop, hopefully soon. I don't know exactly when. For all I know, they actually are in stock because this video is in the future. But right now, as of early June 2020, no, they're not. But we have lots coming on the Canada Skate Shop front, so stay tuned for that. I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for the support over these last few years. It's crazy that this has actually been going on for 3 years, but it has, so thank you guys. And it's time for me to rush off and pick up my kids. Back to reality. They do still have some activities during all this. Not too many though, it's been nice. Anyways, thanks for watching. Till the next video, you guys. Oh, primo to shinner. That might be it.